This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Vic Blanco, and you've been dealing with my intro all week. So if you're still here, I make videos. I'm angry, and it's righteous.
And for those of you that
missed,
missed the Wednesday episode, we did a long interview with Vic all about his channel and himself, and we had DW Relive on earlier this week. So also go check him out, and you can find his link somewhere in the description below. So, all right, today we're talking about the video game Geist. And Geist, the word itself, is defined as let me look that up real quick. I thought I had that up, but I don't. Also, Storyfire exists.
It's essentially ghost, I think, but I think it comes from poltergeist. Spirit,
mind, ghost. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to get it wrong because when you get stuff wrong, people call you out, and I don't like getting called out. So, and not for getting things wrong. I'll get called out for my opinions, but not for just getting something wrong.
But my opinions are facts, so
exactly. That's why I got Will here. He's a fact machine, fax machine. Geist. That is the ghost of old technology, a fax machine. All right. Geist is a first-person shooter action-adventure game for the Nintendo GameCube, released on August 15, 2005 in North America, which is why we're covering it, because this is August. We're currently in when we're recording this video. So it was released on October 7th in Europe and November 3rd in Australia, because apparently Australia got it at a different time than we did. So, okay. A prototype of the game was developed by N-Space, who approached Nintendo to be the game's publisher. Nintendo accepted, making Geist the second GameCube game published by Nintendo to receive an M rating, with the first being Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Very famous game with an insanity meter. That's always a sanity meter, I should say.
Love that game. It was so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. I mean, pun not intended.
I'm still looking to get a copy of that and stream it sometime. In the following years, both companies worked closely on the project, with its first showing at E3 2003. I definitely don't remember that. Originally announced to be part of the GameCube's 2003 lineup, but it was delayed multiple times, making it 2 years of delays for fine-tuning. During that time, the game's genre changed from the first-person shooter to the first-person action adventure. I know, right? With second-person elements. Geist received mixed reviews upon release, with critics praising the game for its unique concepts, graphics, and story, while criticism was directed at its poor performance, sluggish controls, and bad animations. And if I remember correctly, a core part of the gameplay was taking on the body and animation of a person in the room you're already in, right?
Yeah, not even just a person. You could even inhabit animals and machines, or you could blow things up. You can get inside of things and blow them up even. It's really cool.
So what about this game really kind of interested you, Vic?
Well, all right. It was honestly in 2003, it was right around the times of Max Payne, right? So they had this bullet time thing. They had that same bullet time thing. So you were in this spirit form. You come into the game already in this spirit form, so you can creep past your enemies and things like that. So it already was kind of enabling this bullet time type thing, like what was in Max Payne, which was, I thought that was huge in Max Payne. I love that game. I love that game so much. And the best way, if you've never played it before, and I guess a comparison to it was when I'm a big zombies guy. I love zombies, COD zombies. So the afterlife in Mob of the Dead, right? When you shock yourself and you go into that afterlife, it was very similar to that. Even that graphic, that animation of the spirit, type of white light spirit type thing. That was very. I mean, I'm sure they grabbed a lot of inspiration from that. But what was cool is you could just possess different people. Obviously, Geist, poltergeist, ghost, whatever. You inhabit bodies, and then you can inhabit the bodies of your enemies and kill all their friends. So that was really cool. Those were really innovative new things, especially for GameCube. This is Nintendo, guys. Think about that. Nintendo with an M rating,
Very
and an interesting little tidbit, honestly, that I just found out recently. It's a week or two ago, actually. So it's so funny you guys are looking at Geist right now. Is early on in the game, you can inhabit a rat, right? And in the room, you get into this rat's body. So obviously you're crawling on the ground, and in the room there's a woman, right? And she's wearing a skirt. She's wearing a skirt. And I mean, obviously, I don't want to take it too far, but just so you know, they actually spoke to one of the devs and they actually said that they took those textures from an actual nude model. So you literally can see everything up that skirt, and he didn't mean for that to happen. So it definitely deserved that M rating. And you can fact check me if you want. Vic knows what he's talking about. I promise you, this is true. This is real. This is actually something that happened. And like some, honestly, at the time when you're playing GameCube, and I don't know how old you were at the time. I'm not gonna tell you how old I was, but I possibly at that time might have looked up a skirt. So let me just tell you, it was anatomically correct. So that was very interesting. It was a creepy game. It was different for a first-person shooter. I'm somebody who came from Doom and Wolfenstein, so first-person shooters were really my bag, So I love that. And then it's just different, It was innovative. It was different. It was really interesting, but the criticisms about this game were honestly, they were deserved. There were sluggish controls. The frame rate wasn't always great, and the animations weren't always great in this game. Aside from that, it was 2003 and it was GameCube, and for what it was, it deserves the fandom it has received. It deserves this cult fandom for it because it led to things like, I believe, really like the Afterlife and COD Zombies, and not to mention other games just like it, other games that take this first-person shooter on and add these these fantasy type of almost, I'm not saying, but almost RPG type elements.
Yeah, a more modern game that reminds me of this is Prototype.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you can kind of like assume bodies of people that you've already kind of interacted with, or I think basically if you take the person down, you can take over like a similar clone of their body and like prototype yourself to look like that person.
Right. It's almost like The Thing. Remember that movie, The Thing, where like where it could like just like it was like an alien that could like I guess what it did, reproduce the body. I guess it like ate somebody and then became the body.
And copied you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely watch the one from the 70s. The newer one is the CGI is too good, and it freaks me out. There's like this one where like the arm like attaches to someone's face. Oh god.
Yeah, I saw that. It was creepy. But honestly, like the Wes Craven one, I think it was 82. Honestly, I think it was 82. The original one. I think. The Wes Craven one, those practical effects are pretty creepy too, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed both of them. Like I'm not a film critic.
I think the practical effects though, they're like sort of goofy now, so I can get it. It's fine. It's like the old like alien movies.
I get it.
But
I get it.
So here's the last question for this episode, I guess. Do you each feel like this game deserves a remake?
Yes, but without that weird little figure down in the left corner there, because it's been distracting me this whole time.
I wouldn't say remake, but I'd say borrow some of the mechanics and borrow some of the ideas from it.
Like a
honestly,
the
story wasn't that great. Like the game itself, like I'm big on story, not Last of Us 2 type big on story, but I like story, and this kind of was a little bit vapid, I'm not gonna lie. But I think if they take some of these elements from it and honestly use some of this next gen stuff, I'm into it. I'd like to see it happen.
VR, that would be really, really, really strange. Out of body experience.
Yeesh. I was just playing with a VR thing last night. Like I bought one of those like $3-4 VR headsets from Walmart like a couple months ago, and I found it in a drawer the other day, and I was looking at like those VR videos on YouTube. It's kind of cool. I mean, it'd be all right. I mean, I think there's other ways you can use VR that I would like to use it for on a not PG rated podcast.
Fair enough. With that being said, this is Geist, 2005's darling, the Geist, the M-rated GameCube game. So, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
Vic once again.
And we will see you
on next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.